What is up, guys? Wrestling Premier is here. Honestly, what the hell was this? Well, the thought of this idea being created in the office is just so bizarre. Why? I don't need to explain it, just look at the damn feud. They depicted Kurt Angle as some kind of despicable pervert who was out to hunt, and this is his word, gutter slut. But, on the other side, you have to realize that this was just a storyline. A weird one, but still, at the end of the day, it's a storyline. So right now, let's just jump into it. I don't have anything to say for the intro. I already said everything. Kurt Angle's a creep. He's on the hunt for... whatever, let's just get into it. At this point, Kurt Angle was a crazy heel. The amount of stuff he did was almost second to none on SmackDown, keyword SmackDown. He assaulted a handcuffed Eddie Guerrero. He shaved Big Show's head. He locked Sensational Sherry in the ankle lock after helping him make fun of Shawn Michaels. And nobody was wilding like he was on the Blue Brand. As for Booker T, he just needed that one push into the main event scene. He floated around that area, but he was never in it for long. Sure, he got a title match against JBL, but they never kept him in that position. Now, do I think he was capable of being a main eventer? Hell yeah, he already proved it in WCW. Despite all the main eventers leaving and they were in a bad place, he still kind of proved he had the goods. I mean, sure, he was a little bit older at this point, but, like, he could do something there. Anyways, the beginning of this feud is generally unknown in a way. In a way, it's unknown. I never see the beginning of it mentioned, but here it is. It's not like Kurt Angle one night decided he wanted Sharmell. It began on the April 28th, 2005 episode of SmackDown. On that night, both men participated in the Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match for the WWE title. So the match was competitive. It was back and forth. Big Show got eliminated, and Angle and Booker T went back and forth. But at one point, Angle brought in a chair and blasted Booker T in order to eliminate him. So he got the 5-time WCW champion out, right? Well, a couple of minutes later, Angle had the match won with the ankle lock, but just when JBL was going to tap out, boom, Booker's there to return the favor. Angle didn't win the match, and so he was out for Retribution, despite being the one who started this issue in the first place. Okay, this is where things get crazy. On the May 5th, 2005 episode of SmackDown, Kurt Angle backstage confronted Sharmell, the wife of Booker T. He held her husband responsible for last week, and he believed Booker should be charged with grand larceny because of what he did. He challenged Booker to a match at Judgment Day, and he promised to break his ankle. And the look on his face, well, you tell me. Lunatic. He lashed out on a rookie later that night, and after that, he demanded an answer to the challenge. Booker then came out with his wife, and for context, Sharmell didn't really appear before this episode. I believe she was used to interview guys and gals a couple years earlier in WWE. She was also a Nitro girl, but like in WWE, she didn't do that much. She didn't even appear after the interview thing at all. This is her first appearance in over 3 years, I believe. Anyways, Booker accepted the challenge, and Angle's response, he said this. He said that it's a damn shame that after I break your ankle, you're gonna go home with that gutter slut. What? Booker ran in there and delivered a beating befitting of this. He even gave Sharmell some free shots in, but Angle managed to weather the storm despite this and low blow Booker before connecting with the Angle Slam. After this, Kurt Angle realized something. He realized he wanted something more than just to be Booker T. He wanted Sharmell. And once he noticed she was all alone, he was gonna go after her. She had a look of terror on her face and she ran away, but then the old cliche came into play. She fell. Realizing this was his opportunity, Angle slowly walked up to Sharmell, but just before he could get to her, many officials restrained him away. He wanted to lock her in the ankle lock, hence that. The following week, though, Perv Angle was interviewed by Josh Matthews. He asked Angle about his actions last week in stalking Booker T's wife, and Angle's response, he didn't give a damn. He believed he had a right to do it because she slapped him. Yeah, that's the logic he has. Then he admitted that he doesn't hurt women. He said that he makes them feel good. He also admitted his vice is gutter slut. He was also unsure if it was a psychological disorder, and then he struggled to say some words. In the end, he was like, screw it, and here are the words.
Booker, I want to have sex with your wife. That kind of bestiality sex.
Huh? Yo, Angle straight up lunatic. The look on his face, the perverted thoughts, bestiality, and not only that, but he's targeting Booker T's wife, a married woman. I personally don't even know what to say about this. I said enough there. Also, I gotta mention something. When they were writing this segment, a bunch of writers, they told Vince that was the wrong terminology to use. But Vince was adamant that the exact word must be used. He didn't even understand the terminology, hence bestiality being the word he's talking about. And also, it's so weird to think that this started over the WWE Championship and suddenly morphed into a perverted story. Anyways, Booker punished Angle later that night, but when Angle found an opening to actually win the match, he ran away. Why? Because he realized something. Sharmell's alone. He kicked that door open before closing it, and all you could hear is the screaming of Sharmell in that 6 mile that Angle had. Oh man, he had this character down to a notch. He had it perfectly. This ended up being bait for Booker, and Angle ended up delivering a beating. He left Booker laying as Sharmell wept in tears. Now I often wonder, why didn't she just run the hell out of there? Okay, up to this point, Angle showed that he was a nerd, he was goofy, and now he showed that he was a ruthless, cowardly pervert. Booker went crazy the following week, and he complained to Teddy Long about this, and he informed Booker that Angle's been banned from the arena. He even revealed that the Olympic hero is sorry, and he's going to issue that apology via satellite. He even booked the 5-time WCW champion in a match against him at Judgment Day. A couple of minutes later, Mark Jindrak approached Sharmell and told her that Angle's always had a thing for, then there was this long awkward pause, gutter slaw. Once again, that word, I've heard a bit too much of it. He tried convincing her that it isn't his words, it's Angle. Then Booker opened the locker room door and kicked his ass. Their impromptu match didn't really end well for Jindrak, and if you're wondering, Jindrak was one of Angle's proteges, hence the bold statement, him and Luther Reigns, and that's why he said that. As for Kurt Angle, he issued an apology later that night to everyone, the fans, the SmackDown stars, Booker T, and most importantly, Sharmell. He admitted that he isn't proud of what he did, and he attributed this to his momentum halting due to Booker T. He was like, I was on fire at WrestleMania 21, and after it, and he just comes in and ruins everything. He admitted that he went too far in getting revenge as he went too personal. Yeah, I mean, that's obvious. He then admitted that he's truly sorry. Booker and Sharmell watched from a TV in the locker room, and after hearing those words, the two left. But then, it was time for the Kurt Angle show. Now that he's finished discussing what they want, he wanted to talk about what he wants. He wanted Sharmell to admit she is a gutter slut. Booker walked back into the room in anger. Angle then revealed that he kissed Sharmell and she liked it, and the reason why she was screaming was because she wanted more from him. He claimed that she molested him, and I just wonder, how did this fly through a PG show? How? And not only that, she fondled his private parts and they both loved it. Okay, I'm done. That's it for this video. Angle then claimed that he's going to make Booker scream for a different reason. After that, he's going to give exactly what Sharmell wants. To dominate her? And not only that, he's going to show her how to do the real spinner Rooney. Damn. Angle, in my eyes, he was given 200% in order to make this character look so vindictive, weird, sadistic, everything. As for their match at Judgment Day, it was pretty good. Booker and Angle put in quite the work, but beforehand, though, it escalated. Sharmell received some gifts that she appreciated before realizing it wasn't from Booker T. He was yelling and going crazy, then Booker went on a search for the perv, and Sharmell was left alone. She was left alone to Kurt Angle. Angle then went to his match like nothing happened. He traumatized the woman and all was forgotten when his music played. Now, the only problem, and I'm not sure if it was, about the match, it was the finish. It seemed like a botched finish with Booker rolling up Angle and the shoulders not down on the mat. Other than that, yeah, good match. It was pretty enjoyable. The 13 minutes, though, it shouldn't have been that long. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to be that long. It was supposed to be like 20 minutes. That's what Angle claimed in an interview. Anyways, Booker won with the roll-up like I mentioned. Afterwards, Angle attacked Booker and Sharmell was stuck between a rock and a hard place. He brought out some damn handcuffs, but before he could do whatever the hell he wanted to do, Booker T from out of nowhere blasted the Olympic perverts. The tables were turned and Angle started playing the victim. This didn't work and he got his ass beat. Sharmell got some shots in too, and one of them was on target. So, the perv was down and out. It seemed like a beautiful ending as Angle got his comeuppance and all was good. He was sending some weird stuff earlier on preparing for his plans, but they never came to fruition. Following this, Booker and Sharmell were in great spirits and they were looking forward to the Battle Royal later that night. As for Angle, he was ready to go. He was ready to win the whole damn thing. Just a note, this was a winner's choice Battle Royal, which meant whoever wins gets to choose their opponent and whatever the hell match type they wanted. Angle threw out Booker and ended up winning the whole damn thing a couple of minutes later. So now, he gets to choose whoever he wants. Now, if you were watching, you probably think, well, he's gonna get his title shot against John Cena. That's the whole reason why the Booker T thing started. Yeah, no, that wasn't it. He wanted Booker T's wife, Sharmell, in a match, and he was craving that match. Just look at him. He was chomping at the bit. As for Booker T, absolutely appalled. He demanded Sharmell not face Kurt Angle, and this request couldn't be granted because Sharmell was a SmackDown star. He did, however, add Booker T to the match, making it a handicap match, and that match graphic, it seemed like it was tailor-made for the situation to me. The match itself, though, saw Sharmell out of her element completely. She relied heavily on Booker T to get the job done before the perv gets the chance. The moment he got his hands on Sharmell, though, he went straight to Funland. Booker made the save, but this only delayed the inevitable. At one point, Sharmell latched onto Angle, and he ended up locking her in a torturous hold, but Booker once again was there to make a much-needed save. Angle once again dropped the 5-time champion with an Angle slam, and he then shifted his attention once again to a very fronting Sharmell. She fought back, though, with a slap and a bite, but then she left herself open to an ankle lock. And once again, Booker T blasts Kurt Angle. Later on, the Olympic hero shoved Booker right into the ref. Sharmell, she seemed to collapse like a soccer player. With the ref down, Angle blasted Booker with a steel chair and he was ready to get his hands on Sharmell without Booker T coming in to prevent him from doing so. She tried slapping him, but he managed to roll her around to inside cradle position And again, Angle showed just how much of a perv he was. Despite the victory though, he tried to dominate Sharmell. Booker finally got rid of him. He stormed into Teddy Long's office and informed him that he's gonna get Angle legal or illegal for what he did to his wife. Basically, he didn't give a damn if it was inside the ring, outside the ring, whether it be at Toys R Us, he was gonna kick his ass. It made no difference to him. As for Teddy, he booked the match if neither competitor gets drafted. So basically, if they didn't go to Raw, the match happens. But guess what? They didn't get drafted, so the match went on. Meanwhile, Kurt Angle's admitted that he's obsessed with Sharmell and stared at her the entire time the previous week. He also believed that Sharmell didn't want to let him go despite the match ending. And he looked into her eyes and felt something like never before. And Angle promised the games won't end with Booker T tonight. And after he humiliates him, his wife is coming home to daddy. If this thing couldn't get any crazier. Now, did Angle make good on that promise? Hell no. Why? He accidentally blasted himself with a chair, and this gave way to Booker T hitting the scissors kick and winning the match and the feud, basically. So everything Angle said was rubbish. After this, he assaulted Taz for being loyal to ECW, and that's it. That's another story for another day. Angle moved to Raw, and he was pretty proud of this thing. In one segment, he admitted liking Sharmell dominating him. As for Booker T, he floated around the mid-card scene for a while. Sharmell became an official member of SmackDown, and that's all. On this storyline, Kurt Angle was asked if he was uncomfortable with being a raging pervert. And I quote, "The stalking of Booker T's wife Sharmell, I was not comfortable doing it. The whole storyline felt odd to me, but I like challenges, so I went through with it." Now, a rumor I heard on the storyline is that someone got a hold of the fact that Angle likes black women and decided to turn him into a perv. I heard it a while ago and I couldn't find a citation. But overall, this story was right out there. In the early and mid-2000s, WWE were obsessed with this kind of stuff, like Katie Vick, Tori Wilson's father. They always used to do some outlandish stuff, and the problem with this stuff is that most of it doesn't end up being great. Doesn't mean this story is boring, hell no. But to me, it felt like they didn't know what to do with Kurt Angle and Booker T. Like, they didn't know what to have them feud over. But I will say this, though. Kurt Angle is this weird pervert. You just couldn't root for him. The fans booed him, and this phase made Angle seem evil. Also, another thing to mention is that when people say they want TV-14, I don't think they're referring to this type of stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm shocked all of this went down on PG SmackDown. And another thing to mention, a positive from this feud is the matches. Despite the storyline being so damn weird, the matches were pretty entertaining. The Judgment Day match just went short because of a mishaps, and I suggest you watch it. So final thoughts, a bizarre yet very memorable feud, not for the good reasons, that stands out due to its nature. And yeah, that's it. What did you think of this feud? Please comment down below. Did you guys like it? Did you dislike it because Angle and Booker T deserved better? And that's it. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit an Angle slam on the like button, perhaps a scissors kick on the subscribe button. Peace. I'm out.